Oi oi oi, welcome back everybody to a brand new hardcore video. Today we're doing a whole bunch of exciting things, so sit tight, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get right into the video. So first off, in today's episode I would like to make a honeycomb farm, and that is so we can make a bunch of candles to decorate all of our interiors around here. And that's because in today's episode I'd like to fully tackle this interior. And to do that we of course need to get a bunch of beehives with silk touch. So I spent some time off camera and managed to get this on my axe, which is pretty much perfect apart from mending of course. So let's go around these forests. Oh, there's a bee there. And as I was going to say, find a beehive, and it looks like there are a bunch of bees here, so there might be a beehive. And there's one right here. So I think I'm actually going to save the coordinates for this one, because you can't really gather up the beehive with the bees inside until it's nighttime, so I'll have to wait for this one. I wonder if we can just follow the bee now that it's nighttime to find the beehive. Is that possible? Yeah, I don't think these guys have a home yet. And right up here in this meadow biome there's another beehive, so let's grab that one. Can we make this jump? I think so. I'm actually going to grab this one even though there are no bees in it. And there's another beehive right here. And we got this achievement, which means there were 3 bees inside one of those. But let's continue to gather up more beehives. And another beehive, fantastic. Alright, so I'm back home with only 7 beehives. It's fine because I think I saw a beehive earlier around this area. So let's see if we can find it. Yes, there it is, our final beehive. Fantastic. Alright, so what to do now is we make a room to breed up these bees and fill up all of these beehives. So I sealed off this cave entrance, placed down my beehives, and then I lured in some bees from the nearby area. So while waiting for the bee cooldown, I think it's a good time to plan out where this bee farm will go. And since this guy is the beekeeper, it's a perfect spot for that. So I'm just going to make some kind of retaining wall around here so we can make a nice garden outside. And I think I'm just going to make the wall with the tough blocks. And then we just go with andesite slabs on top. And I think we put some random andesite blocks on top here. And then I would like a straight path going down the middle right here. And then maybe we could have a small little path leading up this way. Alright, so it's now night and it seems like none of these bees are going into the nest, which means they are full, so let's gather all of these up. But anyways, let's continue with the garden. And so right here I think some leaves would look really nice. And I'm thinking something like this on the side here. And let's add a bunch of flowers around here. And right here I would like the entrance to our bee farm. So let's just make a hole right here. So let's try to make a cool design up here. So first I just want an archway like this. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Now I just want to make a staircase going down a bit, and then we can make our bee farm. Now I don't want this one to go too far down, but I think this is perfectly good. Alright, so I've just cleared out this area and added in some pillars just to know where things will go. And I think it's time we make the technical part of this farm, and then we'll focus on the details and decorating in a moment. So first I had to dig out some more space for the actual farm. So I went ahead and did that, added my glass and the dirt, and then some flowers on top for the bees. And I added in my hoppers. And then I put some dispensers here to share our beehives. And then some observers to detect when they are full. And of course redstone on top so the whole thing works. Then I went ahead and added in a bunch of glass and just some general decoration blocks. Now in theory this thing should be working right now. All we have to do is fill up the dispensers with shears. So let's do that right now. Alright, all of the shears are in place, and as you can see the farm is working wonders. Something that isn't working as well is these guys, so I'm not sure what to do about you, but I'll see you later. Bye bye. Alright, let's get decorating in here. So I want to start off by just taking out this floor. And let's do jungle planks in here. And then we can go something like this. Let's make these walls a bit nicer. And for the ceiling, I just want it to look like a regular cave ceiling. And I think something like this looks quite nice. Then let's get some campfires and leaves up here so it looks kind of like a overgrown pergola. Now this is looking quite amazing in my opinion. Let's add in some light, a lantern there, and maybe one right here. And then some pickles, why not? And a pot with a blue orchid. Alright, we are pretty much done with our bee farm. And this is what it's looking like currently. So this is the exterior garden. I'd like to add a few custom trees around here at some point later. And then continuing onward into our little bee farm. We got this nice pergola up here with some azalea leaves going down. A nice little flower pot and some pickles. And then we have all of our bees, of course. And more importantly, we have gotten a bunch of honeycomb while building this farm, which means it's quite effective. I think this one turned out pretty amazing, but please tell me in the comments below what you think. And even though we have a lot of honeycomb now, you need strings to make candles as well. And while going out for an entire night, I only managed to get 8 of them, which really won't be enough to make a lot of candles. So I think we need to do something about our sword. So we need to get some looting, and let's get working on that right now. Alright, so I've spent yet again a very long time trying to get a good sword. This one is really good. It finally has looting. Unfortunately, there's knockback 2 on it, but I don't think that will be a problem for a long time. So this sword will be enough for the time being, and maybe later in the future we can get a better one. And while we wait for it to become nighttime, I think we could decorate a bit more here in this kitchen. And I'm thinking maybe some candles right here could look really nice. Let's do a lantern up here and one up here. And then I think some light gray candles could look really nice right here. And some default ones here by the window. Then we can put some magenta ones right here. And then just to make this place a bit more comfy, I think a carpet here would do great. And I really like this yin and yang kind of pattern. Let's actually add in some food on these shelves. There we go. And I think that pretty much wraps up our kitchen. Never mind, one last thing though. I think I want to replace these barrels with beehives. Now this is looking quite nice. But let's move on to this room. So I want to start off by adding in a table right here by the window. There we go. And then some chairs, something like that. Let's go with a nice little table in the middle here. Then maybe a barrel right here. And then here I would like to try a cool trick that I saw. So you go dirt, trapdoor, then some azalea, and then a moss block on top. So it looks like a tall plant kind of. Then we can go with another barrel right here. Then some trapdoors here maybe. We could put a chest here, that would be nice. Maybe a flower pot right here. Some candles on top right here. And now thinking a bookshelf right here could look pretty cool. Then let's put a pot up here. Then an allium right there. And a dandelion right there. Then maybe some light gray candles on the table. And in the window a pot with some poppies could look really nice. And in the corner I think some kind of plant thing like this could look really nice. And then up here we go with some blue candles. And a pot with some cornflowers to match the candle. And then we can go with a nice little rug right here. And maybe a nice lantern by the staircase. And that, my friends, wraps up our dining room. But I swiftly moved on to the bedroom. Added a nice big rug. And then just adding shelves and some pots is a really cool idea. But this pool table is a big favorite of mine. But anyways, I continue adding random furniture, some seating areas. This is another one I really like. It's a sofa table with the actual sofa, of course. And then I moved on to decorating the enchanting room with some candles for that spooky factor. And then I just add in some random plants. And this is a small guest bedroom. I'm finally done furnishing up the entire starter house, so let's go and tour the place. So as we enter, the first thing we see is the kitchen, and here we got a nice little fireplace. We got some nice campfires with some meat on top, so it looks like shelves. Some log storage, some herbs and vegetables for cooking, and plenty of storage. Overall, I'm really happy with this room, so let's continue. So heading past here into our dining room, we have a nice little storage wall with some bookshelves, some flowers and stuff. Then we have a nice dining table, which of course leads to our storage room that I haven't really decorated. So heading upstairs now, and I'm really liking this one. To our left here we have a nice little couch with some flowers and this thing. This is a really cool pool table design, and it's made using signs underneath. I think this is very cool. And then we have some tables, and I changed up the enchanting room a little bit just to make it a bit more nice, but overall pretty much the same as before. And if you're wondering, this bench is possible due to my texture pack. Now heading into this room, this is a small little guest bedroom and overall a cozy small bedroom. Now heading onward, this is the master bedroom. This is the one I'm staying in and I think it's really cool. So we got a nice little closet, a king size bed, and then we have some bookshelves and a small little desk set up, and of course a small little furnace to keep ourselves warm during the winter. So please tell me what you think about this one, but overall I'm really happy. So with our interior finished up, the next project I want to tackle is a village breeder. And if you didn't know, a village breeder means a lot of progress, because you can get a big chunk of the materials in Minecraft basically for free. And I think it's time to let you guys in on a secret. In the future I'm planning to build a village on top of this hillside here, and so I think the village breeder should be quite close. And so to keep the village breeder hidden from the rest of the village, I like to keep it hidden inside of this hillside. So just making sure here I dig far enough into the hillside, and then in this room I placed down my dirt, planted down all of my carrots for the villagers to breed with, and then I worked a bit more on the drop shoot and then eventually the collection system. So finally our villager breeder is done, and this is a design by Logical Geek Boy, and the way it works is the villagers harvest a bunch of carrots, then they throw them to each other, they breed and they make babies, and the babies fit through here. They come along, and then once they grow up they will shoot up here, and then they'll be ready for collection with the minecart system, and we can put them wherever we want them. Now though, the only thing we need is villagers. So we need to put 2 of them inside of there so we can make many more. And since there are no nearby villages, there are only 2 options for me. Either I bring them by nether or I convert zombie villagers. So I decided to go with the nether route, and I made this really sketchy bridge over a big lava lake, and thankfully I survived. And then I just built up the portal. Alright, so I've set up a nether link to the village, so let's get some villagers. Here's our first guy. There we go. And now we just go back. Now onto our second villager. Get in the boat. Here we go. Now we have both of our villagers in here. Now we just need to wait for them to breed. Alright, so while waiting for our villagers to breed, I think we could make the first building for our village. And this building will be the building that has my librarians. So that means the mending villager and all the other ones. But before we can do that, we need to gather materials, so let's get right to it. Guys, guess in the comments below how much copper there's in this tower. And look at this, guys. Look at how much copper we got. So I've gathered up most of the materials I need for this build, so let's cut into a time lapse right now. Alright, so our librarian house is pretty much finished, but as you can see it's looking a bit bulky and not very detailed. So I thought I would show you guys how I go about detailing a house like this. So firstly, a few windows wouldn't hurt. And now we add in our glass panes. And then to make these corners less rough, I'm putting some ladders there. It also adds some depth and further detail to the whole house. And now on the inside I'm adding some windows right here. And then right here above the entrance I thought a balcony could look cool, so let's add in that. There we go. And now this is already looking a lot more nice. And then we can add in a door to the balcony. And some leaf action. And now up on our roof, let's add in some windows to break up this sea of just copper color. And then we can do a nice little fireplace trick above. There we go. Now every house needs a chimney, so let's add one right here. And just to make this building stand out even more, I would like to add a tower up here. Let's add in a door for this house as well. And just look at how much nicer this is looking already. This is so cool. But let's finish up detailing up this house, and I'll see you guys in a bit. So our librarian house is finished up, so I'll give you a quick tour of the exterior. I haven't done the interior yet, but let's go. So this is what the front looks like, and I'm really happy with the result. Please tell me in the comments below what you think about this. And I think it's gonna look even better once the copper ages. So let's go around to the side. And as you can see, I added a nice little bay window right here. And then continuing, right here we have this small little balcony section. This is the wall of course, but then there's a balcony so you can sit outside and watch the meadow. Of course still being sheltered from the rain. Coming around, a nice little window up there. And here I added another balcony, which I think this looks really cool. And we can't forget about the tower. I'm really happy how it turned out. It's a really nice small tower design. But anyways, that's it for this house. But now let's see if we got any baby villagers. And it seems like there are loads of them. This is so cool. We'll definitely be able to use these ones later. And we even got some small babies down here. Very cool. And turning on shaders now. Just look at how beautiful this house is. But anyways guys, that is going to have to be it for today's episode. So thank you so much for watching this one. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.